I do like how Mint says dog and sauce and talking. Yeah, that one, hers is very like duog, which is how a lot of some of my family members say it. But some of the other stuff she says, they don't have. It's not the same accent. Yeah, like she says pizza. No one in my family is going pizza. That took me a lot of time to like train out of my accent. Now I don't have to think about it too much, but occasionally I'll go something call me. I think it's when I'm talking to family and someone's like, I called you, and I'm like, you didn't call me though. That when I'm like speaking negatively, I'm like, but you didn't call me, right? Or you didn't talk to me. If I say something like that, for some reason it's like harder for me to not say cool. But then if I'm speaking positively, oh yeah, I'll call you, it's easier for me to say call. I don't know why the positive versus negative tone changes like what my brain wants me to say. I don't know why it does that. I don't know what that's about, but it does. It be what it is. It be what it do. I don't know. I'm not too concerned with getting rid of my accent, though. I know I still have like little shreds of it. I don't really have any problems with having. If anything, I'm like, man, I wish I got rid of my accent less, because now it's more natural for me to speak without too much of it if I'm streaming. But it's natural for me to speak with it when I'm out and about, depending on who I'm talking to. So I don't know. I don't even know anymore. My brain just code switches and I don't tell it to. I don't know anymore, man. I have a heavy accent and always slips out when I'm comfortable around others. Yeah, I think if I'm hanging out with friends IRL, I think in person I'm much more likely to sound like that, but then somehow when I'm just like on a microphone, my brain code switches harder. Because it's not just from streaming, it's also from like work calls and stuff. You've lived in 4 different continents? 4? My God. I've only lived on 2. Only 2. Phone voice is real. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think everyone has phone voice where they speak with less of an accent. They speak a little more properly. And then if you, anyone who takes a lot of work calls, kind of like their phone voice becomes a little more real. You know what I mean? I think that's most of what happened to me. More than anything. People in my area say I have a city accent. People in the city say I have a southern accent. I can't win. I know. I mean, when I'm like in New York here and I'm around some friends with stronger accents, they're like, you don't have an accent at all. Even though like half of what I say sounds like that. It's just not as strong as some of them, you know? And then I go anywhere else and they're like, oh, you're from New York. Like they just clock it instantly. Even if I'm not talking with much of an accent, they still are like, you're from New York. I can feel the shift in the air. I can feel the aura change. I could sniff it out. And I'm like, what? Since when do you have a New York accent? What do you mean? What? Yeah, I just decided to have one a year ago. I just decided and just felt like it. What do you mean, since when? I'm just a LARPer. I'm actually from Ohio. Yeah, from Ohio. From Cincinnati. Actually, I don't know what the fuck the Ohio accent sounds like. I'm like, yeah, what do the people in the North, Midwest sound like, kinda? I don't fucking know. Yeah, not that. Well, I actually do know someone from Ohio that sounds like that, but I think it's because their parents are from Minnesota, not because they're from Ohio. It just does not register to me at all. Yeah, because of the whole conversation. Okay, you probably just clicked in a little bit ago. The whole conversation was that my accent is lessened when I speak on a mic because I'm using customer service or phone voice, not intentionally. That's the whole conversation. But occasionally when I'm on stream, like I'll say like one thing with like a mild to moderate accent. There'll always be someone who like pogs and soy points. Like, I'll say call, and they'll just type call, and I'm like, do you do this to everyone who has an accent? I always wonder about that. I think people find, like they just think the New York accent's like pog, you know? They hear it and they're like, oh, whoa, and they point. They do it to everyone with a strong accent. Everyone does it to everyone with a strong accent that's different from theirs. Person says thing in strong accent and they just say it again like the SpongeBob meme. But I feel like they don't do it to anyone nearly as badly as they do to British people and New Yorkers, right? Because if you say something and you're like, oh, sorry, someone will go, oh, sorry, back at you, right? But I go like, oh, I called him. And they go, hey, I'm walking here. And they start doing an entire practice routine. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? like anyone with a different accent says something, they just repeat the thing they said back. But then like, you have a New York accent. And they start doing like an entire slapstick routine. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? They do it to British people too. Someone says something slightly British and they're like, whoa, ha, ha. Cheerio, right? But why is it only those two? I don't hear people say it nearly as much. Like, it's not like it doesn't exist for other accents, but they don't do it like every time the way they do it every time to New Yorkers and Brits. It's crazy, dude. So painful being British when people try to do a British accent. It's so bad. Dude, it's... I genuinely... Okay, I'm gonna tell you my true feelings. Just don't tell my collab mates when they do it to me, okay? Because people collab with me and then sometimes they do the I am walking here thing. Genuinely, when people do, like, the New Yorker, oh, I'm walking here, forget about it thing... I find it so unfunny because it just grates on my ears like people taking a fork and scraping it against the plate, because it actually just sounds so bad. Because it's not like their attempt, the fact that they're trying to do it is unfunny, and I'm like pissed at that. It's just that the impression is always so terrible. And the thing is, like, sometimes it's intentionally terrible, but a lot of the time they like continue it and they're trying to do the accent and it's actually so bad. And I've had so many times streamers come up to me and be like, oh yeah, I could talk like I'm from Brooklyn, and then they start doing an accent and it sounds like they're from another fucking planet. And I'm like, what? Do you think this is in any way accurate? I don't expect it to be 100% perfect, but it's like not even 30%. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like so off. I don't understand how it's so off. And then they do it and they try to tell me they can, quote, can do a New York accent. I'm like, you actually can't. You can't. You don't know how to sound like it, man. I don't mind people doing the bit. Just don't tell me that you can do the accent and like be like, oh no, I'm actually good at it, and then start sounding like shit. Oh, it's crazy. It's actually so funny though. Like, it's just one of those like absurd kind of things. The only time as good as Joe Pesci and Bayonetta. Joe Pesci is like an actual guy from New York, though. He's not a guy mimicking it. He's fucking Joe Pesci. You know what Pesci means? It's Italian. He's just like an Italian American from New York. It's the whole thing, man. I don't know. Joe Pesci's real, man. He's a real guy.
One of the things that I remember someone in my family doing is instead of saying toilet, they said turlet. Because that curl coil thing was seen as stupid. So anytime they wanted to say the oil sound, they would say Earl instead. So it went backwards.